Hold up this trophy! This group for our city!
All of Who Dat Nation remember the 2009 season.
Get ready to party with the party, New Orleans!
Now, the chance to recreate that memory is within reach. Win out, and the road to the Super Bowl will go through the Superdome, just like it did back then.
A Super Bowl by way of the Superdome, Saints fans hope. But if we're to learn any lesson from watching the NFL this weekend, it's this. Don't assume anything. The Rams lost at home to the banged-up Eagles. Brady and the Pats could be playing on Wild Card Weekend. The division-leading Cowboys just got shut out. And now this Saints team has to prove they can be road warriors and maintain that NFC #1. As we welcome you to the GMC Monday Night Kickoff from Bank of America Stadium, the 11-win New Orleans Saints against the desperate but still dangerous Carolina Panthers. As we say, good evening, everybody. Thrilled you're with us. Joe Tessitore alongside Jason Witten. Well, the Panthers were 6-2. This was supposed to be the NFC South divisional determining showdown. Then comes the baffling 5-game losing streak. But understand this: Carolina is much different at home. 1-6 on the road, 5-1 at home.
Yeah, and Ron Rivera is going to get his team to respond. They have not played well. 5-game skid. They have not done it the way the Carolina Panthers expect to do it. The defense has got to step up. It's a veteran group. They haven't played that way in the last few weeks. But it's going to fall on the offensive side. Franchise quarterback Cam Newton, he has got to put the team on his back with his ability to make these throws and to get it to Christian McCaffrey. They got to control the time of possession because Drew Brees and that offense are flying high.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the Saints, if Brees flies high enough here down the stretch, they can get the #1 spot in the NFC if they win 2 of their final 3 games. And head coach Sean Payton, he stressed it to us, he stressed it to everybody in the building, the importance of that #1 next to your name. How important, how big is it? In 4 of the past 5 seasons, the seeds with the #1 there in each conference, they've met up in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Saints are a good team on the road, but they're a great team if this thing goes through New Orleans. Look, Drew Brees plays well in that Superdome. The fans are behind him. But look, he's thrown for less than 500 yards over the course of the last 3 games. Dallas Cowboys defense showed that there's a formula in how they have to attack them, and that's pressure inside the pocket and taking away Michael Thomas, his receiver, and his go-to guy, Alvin Kamara, out of the backfield. Look, Drew Brees wants to get back on track. Carolina Panthers are going to have to bring pressure up the middle to get him off target.
Hey, here's what I love about this game. Perhaps the best pre-snap chess match that the NFL can offer up. Let's bring in Booger McFarland. Talk a little bit about Brees and Kuechly there, Boog.
Well, no doubt about it. And we often hear about the quarterback being the smartest guy and the ability to process information. Well, tonight we have a guy that's doing that on the defensive side of the football, named Luke Kuechly. And I'm going to show you in tonight's unlimited performance presented to you by Sprint. One of the things you have to do is have great film study. When you have great film study and you have instincts, it allows you to play fast. Notice Luke Kuechly here. Before anybody goes left, Luke Kuechly is the first guy to move. He diagnoses the play, and he gets in the backfield, and he creates havoc for his teammates. But when you're a good player and you're working to becoming a great player, how do you become a Hall of Fame type player the way Luke Kuechly is? It's the effort, the ability to chase the football 50, 60 yards down the field. That's what Luke Kuechly does. If you're interested in having a little fun tonight, watch the chess match. Drew Brees, Luke Kuechly, look into their eyes. It'll be fun tonight to see who can fool who on either play.
By the way, Luke's 100th career game tonight. Century mark, those been home to him. 100 tackles in each of his 7 NFL seasons. And tonight, Luke Kuechly wears the Monday Night Mic.
Let's go, bro. Come on. Get it going. Get it going, baby. Let's get it going. All we got to do is start fast. Start fast. Play physical. Win on 3, 1, 2, 3.
By Campbell's Chunky. There's always a little extra when division rivals square off in December, but Cam Newton and the Panthers have added motivation for this game thanks to a couple of gifts they received from the Saints last season.
I have a constant reminder each and every day when I look at my locker that I was gifted last year, and can't wait.
After the Saints beat the Panthers in last year's NFC wildcard game, New Orleans celebrated in their locker room with a broom to symbolize their season sweep of Carolina. Shortly after, Cam Newton says he received that broom in the mail, along with a bottle of Jordan red wine, a favorite of Saints defensive end Cameron Jordan. Newton says he has kept both items in his locker all season, waiting for the chance to return to sender, something he says he will do if the Panthers take care of business and beat the Saints twice in the next 14 days.
Disrespectful. It's cool. And when somebody does certain things, it's all out of fun, you know. But there's nothing else to be said.
Check out the cleats Cam Newton is wearing tonight. One side says, "Get Back Vineyards of North Carolina, #1 reserve," obviously a wine reference. The other side has a snapped broom. Think he's not thinking about payback, Tess?
I say return the broom, but keep that Napa cap. Late season scheduling quirk. They play tonight and then the Week 17 finale. You've been watching the GMC Monday Night Kickoff, engineered by GMC and their lineup of Denali vehicles.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The spotlight's on. Time to stake your claim for Monday Night Football's Hall of Fame. The greats, the legends, the division foes. They all turn it up when they play in this show. A classic matchup could not be finer than the Saints and Panthers in Carolina. And tell me if you're ready for a war. Let me hear it if you want to win. You know it's time to ball. We got to kick it off and all y'all let the games begin. Oh yeah. New Orleans, get ready. Carolina, get ready. Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party. Stage is set. Let's get it kick-started. Yeah. Get your game face on. Get the crowds getting excited. All my riding friends are here on Monday night.
As we welcome you to Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. You know, Carolina has won 13 of their last 14 home games in December. Right now, they need to get out of the way of this 5-game losing streak. Need to win, and they're going to need some help. The Redskins and Vikings didn't serve them well yesterday for the Panthers. Meanwhile, there are the Saints. You know, the Rams got upended, so the Saints control things for that #1. If we were to have the playoffs right now, the NFC would have Vikes at Bears, Seahawks at Cowboys in the wild card round. But it may be a wild finish to this NFL season. The Saints won the toss. They defer. Panthers will receive. Last season, the Saints defeated the Panthers 3 times. Heard what Lisa had to say of Cam's motivation to avenge that. He's been keeping that broom that he was sent in that locker all year long and wants to return it to sender. Will Lutz will be kicking away. Kenyon Barner back to receive. And the 55th touchback of the season for Lutz. Cam Newton trots out with a 5-1 record on Monday Night Football, and what a difference it is when he is at home here this year. See this offense revs with Cam at home, scoring nearly 31 points per game, under 20 on the road, and a turnover margin sure does help with that.
Yeah, it does. And the biggest thing over the last 5 games in that skid that they've had is 8 interceptions he's thrown. He cannot turn the ball over knowing that Drew Brees is on their side of the ball.
Christian McCaffrey able to keep his balance and make his way ahead for 4 yards. See McCaffrey's numbers as he came in tonight just 10 yards away from breaking the Panthers' single-season record for scrimmage yards. D'Angelo Williams set it 10 years ago. Second and 6, quickly to the outside, and Ian Thomas will move the chains. This has been a good-looking rookie tight ends who had 9 catches last week. Size up this offense for me.
Well, they want to run the football. I mean, they feel like they need 25 runs. When Cam's thrown for over 40 passes, he's 0-4 this year. So they're going to give it to McCaffrey a lot. And then Ian Thomas, the rookie tight end, who's stepping in for Greg Olsen, who's injured. He needs to be able to be a possession receiver, just like he was there, converting for first downs.
3-time Pro Bowl tight end Greg Olsen is on injured reserve. This is incomplete. A little bit of pressure on Cam as he was trying to get it to DJ Moore.
You know, and that's the thing, Joe, right there. You see Cam Newton, his completion percentage is up this year, and sometimes the numbers can fool you. He still has to become a more consistent quarterback, being accurate. He's been pretty good this year, but he's got to be better in the pocket.
Here's McCaffrey on 2nd and 10 as McCaffrey will get it ahead for a 3rd and short, goes for 9 yards, and he sets that single-season mark we were just talking about.
Well, everybody thinks that he's on the outside. He's going to be a perimeter run, but he's not. He's going to come inside in between the tackles. He feels comfortable doing that. He's not just on the perimeter. He is handling the workload for this offense. He's smaller in size, but he's compact. He's powerful. He can handle that workload. And they want to control the line of scrimmage against this stout New Orleans defense against the run.
Yeah, they feel like they can run against this New Orleans defense. They say, hey, nobody's really challenged them. They're going to challenge them tonight and run it a lot.
3rd down and 1. Curtis Samuel comes into the backfield as McCaffrey will have the first down just short of midfield.
Yeah, and this defense they've had a resurgence, and it started up front with Sheldon Rankins, number 98. He's doubled his sack output from last year. He's playing well. The guy at linebacker, Demario Davis, he's going to play sideline to sideline, and he's making almost every tackle. Where they're still struggling is on the back end. They trade for Eli Apple. This secondary is the Achilles heel of this team. They have to play better.
You have the Giants a 4th and a 7th for Eli Apple. McCaffrey trying to find a seam on the right side as he goes for 5 more. You know, interestingly, in the midst of this 5-game losing streak, the Panthers have actually scored touchdowns on the opening drive 3 times.
And that's the best way they can play against this Saints defense, knowing that Drew Brees is across the way, controlling the line of scrimmage. You see Cam, he's up-tempo with his offense. He feels comfortable, but he's got to get his passing game and allow these guys to run after catch.
2nd and 5, able to secure it, and then is taken down. As coming straight ahead was Demario Davis. That's his 4th sack of the season.
But Demario Davis is lined up here. He brings this blitz. He's a good blitz right inside. They brought one more than the Panthers had to protect it. They have to be able to identify him inside the box. Boog, you said it. He's a nice addition for this defense. The physicality that he plays with on 1st and 2nd down, but then he can blitz.
Yeah.
And that's an added element to this defense that they haven't had in years past.
Yeah, it looked like the Panthers were trying to set up a screen there. Just a lot of miscommunication on offense.
So it backs him up to a 3rd and 15. And it's going to go short and underneath once again to Thomas. And Thomas just makes it back to midfield for 6 yards there, tackled by Apple.
You know, it's going to be interesting to watch when Carolina has the ball. If we all go back to when we saw New Orleans on that Thursday night, the Cowboys really punked them. The Cowboys hit them in the mouth. They were very physical with them. Carolina's going to try to employ the same game plan tonight on both sides of the ball.
Michael Pilardi is going to give a little knuckle rotation and fielded with all hands, not near the body by Tommy Lee Lewis. Well, guess who's getting ready to work? Mr. Drew Brees coming your way in moments. In this being one of the great pre-snap chess matches that you see in terms of an NFL matchup. Head coach Sean Payton of the Saints said, how can we give Luke Kuechly what he thinks? Give him something else. That's the battle. You know, we usually talk about defensive coordinators wanting to trick quarterbacks pre-snap. In this case, it's the other way around. It's the offensive team worried about outsmarting pre-snap the middle linebacker.
And it's the respect that they have for Luke Kuechly. You go against him twice a year, and you have nothing but respect for this guy. He's an old school football playing Jesse. He understands formations, alignments, and so Sean Payton's right on. That's how you have to approach it when you're going against Luke Kuechly. Give him something else to think about. You cannot allow him just to tee off. He's too good of a player and will disrupt your game.
His preparation comes to the field every single time he steps on the field.
Kamara in motion as they will give to Ingram, and Ingram backs his way out to the 19-yard line, gain of 5.
And that's what this Saints offense does, right? They run a lot of the same plays, just different formations. They come out tonight, what do? They fake the jet sweep to Kamara and then just run a quick ISO. So they're going to give you a lot of different things. Sean Payton is as good as there is in the NFL at dressing it up, but running similar plays.
2nd and 5. Brees' first pass of the night. As that's incomplete, as he was trying to get it to Dan Arnold. They are without their starting left tackle tonight. Armstead hasn't played an entire 16-game season in his 6-year career.
Well, but this offense, it goes through 2 guys. Alvin Kamara, and then their running game, of course. And then on the outside, Michael Thomas. He's got over 100 catches. Carolina has to account for these guys. And what they just did on that previous down, on 2nd down, forcing Drew Brees outside the pocket. He's a different player when you get him outside the pocket. You cannot allow him to stay in there because he's way too accurate and will pick you apart.
3rd and 5. Brees took his time. A wobbler gets complete to Kirkwood. 21-yard reception to Keith Kirkwood.
Well, that's what he does. I mean, he just stays in the pocket. He's going to allow those guys to get open. They play man-to-man. And, you know, if Kirkwood keeps his feet there, I mean, he's almost got a chance there for a touchdown with that play. And Mike Adams, the free safety, he's a veteran player. He gave up a lot of big plays last week against Cleveland. It's all about pressure for this front four of the Carolina Panthers.
Best in the NFL completion percentage. Saw 76% for the 39-year-old future Hall of Famer. As Kamara tries to spin free and then is finally ridden down by Luke Kuechly and Jackson. 6 yards for Alvin Kamara.
But you know, you say that, Luke. I mean, about Luke Kuechly, his ability to just slip blockers. He doesn't allow linemen to get up on him. I mean, he tracks the ball. He's gifted. There's no question about it. He has all the physical traits, Joe, but his ability to find it, not only his instincts, but he doesn't allow linemen and tight ends to get in his body. That's a great trait for a linebacker.
Showing some A-gap pressure here as Michael Thomas motions over to the near side. Brees able to get it complete to Thomas, who weaves his way past midfield for a first down. The flag is down. We'll see if this stands. Tony Correnti heading up this crew.
Pass interference. Offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty. And repeat, 2nd down.
Going to get Kirkwood for clearing some space.
Well, that's a big part of their offense is they set these pick routes. You're going to see Kirkwood coming across, and when he goes across, he's really just trying to force them to play over top. But when he gets there, he cannot hit. He's trying to set that pick underneath. You got to keep running. If you stop in the middle of the route, they're going to call it every time. Good call by the referees.
And you saw what Carolina has to do to get pressure. They brought Kuechly there. This front four has been a disappointing unit. They have to blitz to get pressure, and that's been one of the biggest problems with their defense all season long.
Makes for a 2nd and 14. And Kamara is forced out that time by Thompson. All right, take us through this defense, Boog.
Well, it starts up front. number 99, K1 Short. They paid him like a premier under tackle. He's not playing like it. He's got to play better. He's got to be the anchor. But it starts in the middle with a Hall of Fame linebacker, Luke Kuechly. He'll play sideline to sideline and forward and backward. If you're looking for entertainment tonight, watch Luke Kuechly. He surely will not disappoint. And on the back end, they've been disappointing also. So the front and the back end have to play better to be the Carolina Panther defense that we're used to seeing for Ron Rivera.
You know, there was concern that KK Short wouldn't be able to go tonight, but now 94 consecutive games played. Taysom Hill was the intended target there. He's taken down right at the line of scrimmage. As that was incomplete, 4th and 6.
We talk a lot about Luke Kuechly, but understand this. Taysom Hill is going to get the shovel pass from Drew Brees. But take a look at number 58, Thomas Davis. Luke Kuechly gets a lot of the credit. Thomas Davis, a veteran player, is still playing at a high level. And the combination of Davis and Kuechly is still one of the more formidable ones in the National Football League.
Morstead, a rare sighting at times this year, actually on to punt with this dynamic offense. And a good directional job of pinning it near the 10-yard line. 46-yard punt by Thomas Morstead. Cam gets another shot out there in moments. Is brought to you by Goodyear. The two teams that have combined to capture 9 of the last 13 NFC South division titles. As the Saints took control of that, they come in with 11 wins here. As Newton pulls it and unable to get to the edge that time, as Von Bell was quick to get to him with A.J. Klein, the former Panther.
You know, and you see that wide bunch set, looks like a college football team. Get them out wide in a bunch, so it spreads them out and you can run the football. And you just got to commend Norv Turner, the veteran coach in the National Football League. He is completely bought into this system. He didn't come in here and try to change Cam Newton. He's just trying to take his game and go to the next level. Early in the season, that's what we saw. He needs to show up tonight.
A 66-year-old former NFL head coach, offensive coordinator for so many teams, incomplete looking for Thomas. And Cam, you know, he said to us, listen, Norv Turner lets me be me. And he really respects the relationship that they've developed quickly.
Yeah, look, I mean, and I respect the way Norv's approached it coming in here. Look, I mean, you know, when good Cam shows up, I mean, he has shown that he can do what it takes to lead his franchise. Took him to the Super Bowl. He won an MVP. But you just don't know when that guy's going to show up. It's consistency. That position, quarterback, you better have consistency. And that's what has to happen here down the stretch for this season if they want to compete in the postseason.
Well, what has shown up during the 5-game losing streak are interceptions. He has 8 of them. It's the most in the league since week 10. 3rd down and 10 from his own goal line, and he drives the ball complete to Curtis Samuel. A flag is down back inside the 1. As Davenport and Jordan collided with Newton.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 92. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play and an automatic first down.
You know, that's the thing that we don't see enough from Cam Newton, the ability to catch the football, stand in the pocket. Yeah, he takes a beat. He's 6'5" and 250 pounds, but to deliver a strike right there, as we see the blow to the head, the personal foul, but just the ability to make that throw, if Cam could do that more often, then the passing game could expand. We don't see that enough from him.
That was a big 3rd down conversion by him, though, and his young receivers are stepping up at critical times.
Yeah.
McCaffrey probing the inside there on 1st down. Well, you know, Cam this season is interesting when you think about his accuracy and the distance thrown downfield, because entering tonight, he's completing 69% of his passes. I like the wintertime snow football theme the guys went with here. But throwing the ball just 7.1 yards downfield, so they're coming up short of that target. That's a career low. The completion percentage a career high, but the yards downfield a career low. Second and 8, play action, steps up in the pocket, and now looking to tuck and run, and is taken down near the line of scrimmage by Alex Okafor.
You know, Tess, that's the thing about Cam Newton. Everyone sees that high completion percentage. He's completing 68% of his passes. Well, understand this. Stats are like bikinis. They show some things, but not all things. Yes, he's completing a high percentage, but he's throwing the football shorter. Where he's got to be better is when he throws the football down the field, like the strike that we just saw. If he does that more, now the offense can grow and Cam can become the complete quarterback, which we know he can be.
And this guy's got to help him out. Living in 3rd and long, this is the 3rd time we've seen it. That is not the formula for this Panthers offense.
3rd down and 9. Pressure on him and coming up with the ball. DJ Moore was trying to make that extra effort and dive for the line to make, but he goes for 7. As Anzalone came in hard. Watch this on Newton.
Just a nice little love tap there by Anzalone.
That offense is staying on the field, Boog.
Without a doubt. I like this by Norv Turner. When you've lost 5 in a row, and Coach Ron Rivera, you have to make a statement early against a team like the Saints. Love this move, Whip.
You know what? Riverboat Ron, we're seeing it early. Sometimes you're hot, and sometimes you're not. He's hoping that this team can rally behind him.
4th and 2. McCaffrey's going to pass, and wide open Martinez. How about it? Roll the dice and cash in, Panthers.
But they just run the halfback pass. What a fake there by McCaffrey. He has an opportunity, he sees it, and then to be able to come in behind it. Norv Turner, Riverboat Ron with aggressive call. You've heard all this talk about the 5-game skid, aggressive call, and big-time play.
How about Manhertz coming up big there? Chris Manhertz with a 50-yard receiving touchdown by way of Christian McCaffrey. And tonight we're going to take a look at the beautiful city of Charlotte in this exclusive break featuring nighttime photos, all captured. Chris Manhertz on the glory end from Christian McCaffrey on a 4th down call.
But Manhertz's ability to seal the block, if he just releases quick, it's not going to be there. Good fake by McCaffrey. Manhertz sells it. That's an important trait for a tight end on these plays. And I love Christian McCaffrey. He's leading the team in rushing. He's leading the team in touchdowns. Throw on another touchdown pass to it. Critical play. And Riverboat Ron, aggressive play call at the right time. And that's the mentality you need here tonight.
Without a doubt. And number 43, Marcus Williams for the New Orleans Saints. Even in a situation like that where you want to come up and make a big play, he has to know his responsibility of covering the tight end man-to-man. McCaffrey on the fake, he bit. That was an easy pitch and catch right there.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, though, Boog. Manhertz did a good job coming down to seal that block. And when that happens, Williams then triggers and thinks that it's run. I want to get in there and make the play. If he didn't seal the block first, that would have never happened.
Yeah.
Good job to the details there by the tight end.
Here's Kamara as he catches a seam and finally forced out after the long return. Goes for 50 yards.
He's so dangerous, though. And they put him back here. He's got a lot of carries. He's used in this offense a lot, and they keep him in there on the kickoff returns for that reason. And that shows the value that he brings. Unbelievable speed, and then just the instincts to be able to play it out like that.
You know, he had a kickoff return last year against Tampa for a touchdown. And the thing that you don't realize, he's 215 pounds, guys. He's tough to bring down.
As Ingram now with a big hole, and he bounces off a man and keeps on going inside the 30. 23-yard run by Mark Ingram as he flattened Eric Reed.
Well, Mark Ingram just has a great job of understanding the vision. He's going to run the dive, but then he bounces it all the way back outside. Good patience, allow it to set up on the backside with his tackle and his receiver, Kirkwood. And then he sees Eric Reed and says, you better get lower there, buddy, if you want to make that play. And that's the challenge when you go against the Saint offense, because you get Kamara in the speed, and then they change it up with this bowling ball and Mark Ingram, who's playing some of his best football as well.
Breeze, quick drop, threw it a little bit behind Michael Thomas, who was making the in-cut there. Bradbury had coverage.
You know, last week New Orleans was struggling with Tampa. They didn't run the ball a lot in the first half. In the second half, they came back between Kamara and Ingram. They rushed for over 100 yards. Why does this kept? This running game is the engine for this New Orleans Saints car. When they run the football and they're physical on the line of scrimmage, boy, are they tough to handle.
Silver, front line.
There's Kamara on second down. Had to hesitate for a moment, and then KK short with the tackle. Told you he was dealing with the ankle this week. He made his way out there.
And Joe, Carolina needs to see more of that out of KK Short. They gave him the big deal, 5 years and $80 million. Okay, they paid him like a premier 3 technique in the National Football League. He hasn't played that way. And so when you wonder why the Carolina Panthers defense has given up a little bit, it's because up front, mainly KK Short hasn't lived up to his potential.
Third down and 9.
They put Michael Thomas inside in the slot. He's a matchup there against this Ron Rivera defense because they don't really double a lot in this system.
Breeze batted down. And the Luke chant from the crowd rains down after that play. Kuechly right in that path.
You know, Tess, we talk about great players and pre-snap. Watch Luke Kuechly. He's telling Thomas Davis, no, you go. I'm going to mirror Drew Brees. Defensive players don't get enough credit. A guy like Luke Kuechly. We always talk about Peyton Manning at the line of scrimmage and Aaron Rodgers. Watch Luke Kuechly tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He does the same thing, just from a defensive perspective.
Will Lutz has made 23 consecutive field goals, this from 46. And the Saints get on the board. 7-3 Panthers. Battle of the football brains, Breeze versus Kuechly. And wait until you hear the audio that we picked up on Luke Kuechly just moments ago with that pass he batted away and how much he calls out pre-snap what he thinks is going to happen with the Saints offense and nails it. That had them settle for a field goal. Listen to this. This was Kuechly pre-snap.
Hey, look, the inside zone. TD, go. Go.
He directs Thomas Davis. He knows where to go and makes the play.
Well, he tells Thomas Davis to blitz because it's man-to-man behind it, and he wanted to be that free player so he could mirror Drew Brees. But going back to that inside zone, that tells you he's calling out the play, but you know what? You still got to stop it.
That's right.
His guy's got to
step up. He called it out. You got to stop it. And here's McCaffrey as he spins his way before being tackled down. He threw the touchdown pass to Manhurts moments ago. First career pass attempt that was for McCaffrey. He was 2 of 3 passing with a couple of touchdowns when he was playing at Stanford.
And this is what the Carolina Panthers offense has to do. They have to keep it up. They're winning the time of possession, which is critical with Drew Brees on the other side. They're 2 for 4 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down. That's the formula for this offense at Cam Newton.
McCaffrey on 2nd and 6. It'll make for a third and about a long one there.
You know, and as Carolina runs the football, it's not necessarily about getting 8, 9, 10-yard runs. It's about the volume, allowing the New Orleans Saints to know that you're going to be a physical football team, that you're here to fight all night. I think that's more important than the yardage they get.
See their record when running the ball. They said they wanted 25-plus, 30-plus rushes. And you got that goose egg in the loss column.
And that's all good as long as you're good on third down. That formula works, but he has to convert in these third and manageables.
And here is one. 3rd and 1. And incomplete as they pass on 3rd and 1. As he was looking for Manhertz. And broken up by Von Bell.
You know, that's a play call that I think if you're Norv, you may want to rethink. You got a 260-pound quarterback. You've been running the football. Maybe it might be a good time to run the quarterback. I know you don't want to run him a lot, but 3rd and 1 should be a down. You can pick that up with Cam Newton.
Pilardi punts away. He's top 10 in net average in the league. And fair catch at the 25. Well, we are working our way to something special on December 29th. The College Football Playoff Semifinals on ESPN. First at 4 Eastern, Clemson's going to take on Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl Classic. Then at 8, you got the Heisman winner and Kyler Murray in Oklahoma going up against the defending champs, Alabama in the Orange Bowl. Speaking of Alabama and Heisman winners, Mark Ingram, 2009 winner.
That Alabama defense, Joe, against Kyler Murray. Can't wait to watch that matchup.
What do you think, Book?
I think Alabama's defense will make just enough stops, just a few more than the Oklahoma defense.
I don't think there's any think about it.
Yeah. I also don't think those defenses in the Big 12 quite look like the one Saban's putting on the field. Breeze, look at the time he has. As he goes downfield to Watson. And Watson still grinding away. Smart enough to get up and bring it down for 43 yards.
Well, it's just the play action. It comes off the running game. And then there goes Watson. Good feel. They're settling up in the zone, and he gets in behind it. You see how those linebackers, Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly, they both settle in? Drew says, I see it, and he processes information so quickly.
Was that down by contact there?
I think he was down by contact, yes.
Yeah, I think Carolina's going to take a look at it smartly.
Looked like you could see the legs meet when Watson went down at the end of that play. There's Ron Rivera.
But, you know, when they run these play actions, these linebackers have to get deeper. They have to understand that and cover
Carolina is challenging the ruling on the field that the receiver was not touched and down by contact.
I don't know.
We'll take a short break as they review that. Come back and see what they say. Ruling on the field is that the ball carrier was not down by contact, but you be the judge here. Watch Davis.
Yeah, it touches right there.
Yeah, I think his left hand got his cleat there. You know, guys, but even before that, notice how much time Drew Brees had in the pocket. You know, one thing that we're seeing from the New Orleans Saints that we didn't see last night when you watched the Rams, they're making sure their quarterback is comfortable back in the pocket, not allowing pressure. Drew Brees, if you give him time, he's the most accurate quarterback we've ever seen in the National Football League.
Yeah, it looked like Ben Watson's leg hit the back of Thomas Davis's hamstring there in the back behind it, so he'll be down. But that's what you said it earlier, Bogue, about why they want to run the football, sets everything up. And that's a play action that it gets protected inside.
After review, the receiver was down by contact at the 47-yard line. It'll be New Orleans ball, first down at the 47. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 41 seconds and start on my signal.
And that play action
Carolina
really
will not
challenges.
be charged with the timeout.
That play action really challenges these linebackers because they're spotting up in their zone coverage, 12, 14 yards deep. And when that deep over comes with the tight end and Ben Watson, they have got to turn, open up, and carry it. Look at the personnel groupings of the Saints. I mean, Sean Payton, he's just an Einstein with how he approaches it.
Yep.
He brings 5 new guys in. They communicate it well. And it's one of the reasons why they're so explosive.
Ingram bouncing ahead that time for 3.
And when you talk about the different personnel groupings, if you watch the Los Angeles Rams play, they're going to be mainly in 11 personnel. But the Saints, they got a varying degree of formations, pony, 2 backs, 3 tight ends, a lot of different ones.
Oh, Chris Manhertz, the 50-yard touchdown reception from Christian McCaffrey, the touchdown we got on the board so far. In Charlotte, 7-3, Panthers on top. See, the scoring margin the first quarter this year has been a concern for the Saints. They've been outscored 24-3 in the first quarter of the last 3 games.
And think about that, though. I mean, we're talking about one of the best offenses in football, potentially the number 1 seed, and only 3 points in the first half the last 2 weeks.
2nd and 7 out of the backfield is Kamara. So that race for the number 1 seed in the NFC. Of course, the Saints got the best of the Rams. Rams were beaten last night by the Eagles. You see the remaining games and how critical it is for the Saints to have home field. The advantages they've had with Breeze and Peyton at home.
You know, as it pertains to New Orleans getting the number 1 seed, I think it's about their defense, guys. That defense at home, the pass rush, create turnovers. It's a different defense when they're in that dome.
A timeout used by the Saints here. It sure is. They win 2 of the next 3 weekends. They're going to have that number 1.
Well, it's one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. I played there a lot in my career, you know. It's a fast track, which kind of fits this offense and what they do. And Drew Brees, I mean, he's completing 76% of his passes, but he's remarkable in that dome.
Well, there's the mark. That combo of head coach and future Hall of Fame quarterback. 5-0 in the postseason at home. 1-5 when playing on the road. Of course, they won the Super Bowl as a 1 seed. Sean Payton turned to us the other day. We asked him about it. He said, listen, you win 1 game, you're playing the NFC Championship. Taysom Hill in at quarterback on 3rd and 1. And trying to stretch out for it is Kamara.
Got a nice spot there.
Sure did.
They do that on a lot of the 3rd downs. They like to bring Taysom Hill in there and run the zone reads for him. He's comfortable doing it. A lot of times he gives it in these moments here. Defensive end plays upfield, slow to get down the line. He's going to give that every time.
It's a good play by KK Short. Kamara was, he was a little hesitant. The hole was there. He was very hesitant to hit it, though.
Bring out the chain and stretch it out. And a first down for New Orleans.
But you said he was a little hesitant there and he runs it. I mean, just think about what the versatility he brings this offense. You know, he goes to Alabama, doesn't play a lot, transfers to Tennessee. They don't use him a ton the right way. Sean Payton comes in there and scoots him up, says, thank you very much. I got my guy, and he uses him a lot of different ways.
Now Taysom Hill goes from playing quarterback on the short yardage to now lined up on the near side. And they set up the screen to Hill. And Hill keeps his balance and made the most of it, and then was hit hard as he went out of bounds that time by Mike Adams. 14 yards there on the tight end screen.
Well, it's good call by the tight end screen. He's going to block for a count, and then get out. And the ability to see Taysom Hill there, stretch the field, block, and then throw him inside. The lane is outside for the tight ends. He can get a block down the field. He did a good job making a guy miss, but Sean Payton, he knows just the right time to come back with zone read, come back with a tight end screen, play action, and then he takes his shots.
Now he keeps Hill out there on the field with Kamara and Ingram. And Ingram drives ahead with Kuechly on his back for 4 yards there.
Well, Luke just sees it so quick, and then he just shoots the gap. He's unblocked. You know, usually you don't see him make those tackles. He just makes them miss. He plays the back door. He plays over top. That's the thing about smart players. Sometimes you think in those moments that, okay, I know exactly what he's thinking. And you think he's going to play over top. But that's where the instincts that you mentioned earlier, Boog, where they just kick in. And sometimes he just has a feel, and he'll shoot the back door.
2nd and 6. Breeze, shallow cross that time. First catch of the night for Michael Thomas. Well, Michael Thomas, outstanding player, has been putting up incredible numbers. If you look at that catch percentage, I mean 85%. His catch rate the highest of any player since 2001. Folks, if you want to consider, I mean, not everybody knows catch rate. The NFL average is 64%.
Snap it quick here.
3rd and 1. Is he stacked up and then pulled back? Yes. Flag is down all the way back at the 26,
False
but that
start.
mark should be short.
Offense, number 41. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
And the penalty is against New Orleans as Kuechly had wrapped up Breeze and just threw him back.
Well, sometimes when you try to go that up tempo, the running back's not set. Kamara's moving around. He just moves a little bit too soon in that moment for that. And Kuechly just jumping over the top. I mean,
goes Superman over the line.
Yeah, he's paying homage to LeVar Arrington, baby. If you can do it, LeVar, soak it out, baby.
white man can jump. White man can jump.
Coming over the top, man. How good is that?
You know, they're going back to Michael Thomas, though, Joe. I mean, think about that. 85%. Look, if you're just the nearest receiver and the ball goes out of bounds, that's a target. So to be completing 85% of those to him says a lot about who he is as a receiver on the outside, and then right now in the slot. Keep your eyes up for him.
3rd down and 5. Right at the sticks that time as he gets it to Traquan Smith.
And Traquan Smith is a guy that has to step up. 0 catches the last 2 weeks, getting a catch tonight. You know, Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints, they've been fishing around. Dez Bryant, Brandon Marshall. They claim Simi Cobbs off the Redskins practice squad. They're looking for something, a veteran wide receiver. They realize that Michael Thomas can't do it all by himself. They're going to have to get some of these young guys to continue to step up.
How awesome were the eyes of Breeze there as he locks it on that target. Kamara inside the 10 and wrapped up and taken down by Eric Reed.
Well, they go jumbo personnel. And they bring in Will Clapp, their tight end, to play action. And they just bring it all down. And Kamara uses his vision, and he gets back outside. That's the play they want to do. Put him on the safety, put him on the corner. Right here, he's on Reed, the strong safety. He's so good in space, and he has that power. Bringing in Will Clapp in the jumbo personnel. And misdirection runs. Good call.
What a tackle by Reed, though. One-on-one in the open field with Alvin Kamara. My goodness, what a tackle.
Yeah, Kamara, who leads the NFL in red zone receptions. 2nd and 6. He pumps. He extends. What is Breeze going to come up with here? And just has to burn it as he was being chased down. That was Vernon Butler.
Well, that's the thing about this Panthers defense. When you're going against him, you have to win in the red zone. Bend but don't break. They're 31st in the league, giving up 74% touchdowns in the red zone. That's not the formula for this Ron Rivera defense. They need a big stop right now, and the way they do it is pressure inside.
Yeah, they got to get pressure. I think the Carolina Panther defense I'm used to seeing, the front 4 get pressure. They'll drop back, play some zone coverage. Let's see if they do that, or do they play a little man-to-man now?
Julius Peppers comes in as the defensive end.
3rd and 6. Breeze had a short arm. That's a Kamara, who then is met as he was corralled quickly by Thomas Davis.
That's the Panther defense that I played against when I played, and I'm used to seeing. The front 4 gets to the quarterback. Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis in zone coverage. Make you throw the ball short. You come up, you make the tackle. That's the thing they've been missing, guys. If they can do this, we're going to have a ball game tonight deep into the 4th quarter.
Kamara just going down. Shows his athleticism making that catch, though. They don't get the first down, but Drew sees it. You know, if you say one thing about what Dallas did against the New Orleans Saints a few weeks back, was the pressure came inside.
Yeah.
Drew likes to step up inside the pocket. So the Panthers doing a good job wrapping back around inside, making him get the ball out of his hands.
Just a 24-yard attempt for Lutz. So he has 2 first-half field goals, and we've got a 1-point game here in Charlotte. It's held the Saints to a field goal again there.
I got a great feel for these guys. Okay. I know exactly what they're doing. So just listen. I'll let you know when we're checking it. Hey, good eyes!
How about that comment there from Kuechly?
You know, Tess, there's only one place where success comes before work, and that's in the dictionary. You can tell his preparation comes to the field, how hard he studied, how much info that he knows, and when he brings it to the field, preparation and opportunity meet. That's why this young man has a lot of success.
So here are the Panthers in the midst of this losing streak, 5 straight. Lost the last 4 by 7 points or fewer. And then Cam, the interceptions, told you 8 during the streak, the most in the NFL, weeks 10 to 14. But the defense giving up the big plays, allowing 8 plays from scrimmage over 40 yards. That is also the most in the NFL during that stretch. Tonight, locking in a bit against this Saints offense early on. Here's Newton as he goes with the shovel under to DJ Moore, who's been a really good-looking rookie out of Maryland, their first-round pick.
Well, Moore's going to just come on the drag. It's just a simple drag. But he understands, like, hey, get the ball to him quick so then he can do something with the run after catch. Staying ahead of the chains is going to be critical for this offense, but their defense is helping them out. They need to take advantage of that.
McCaffrey on 2nd and 5 as he darts his way ahead for exactly 5.
Well, they're just running a quick draw inside, and McCaffrey, he's been taking the next step. We talked about him going from a scat back to now an every down back. He's got good patience. He allows his linemen to get to the second level. That allows him to get those extra yards.
He is so sick of hearing that label of that. The guy is, can he run on the inside? Is he every down back? I mean, folks, look at the numbers. Look at the productivity. He's a strong guy. Yes, he's compact, but he is strong.
You know, he said that's the reason why he went to Stanford, because he was tired of hearing that, Joe.
3rd time that they have faced 3rd and 1, and when you have that at quarterback, a snowplow going ahead, you don't worry much about 3rd and 1. A little something extra on the back end of that.
And anytime, if I'm Carolina, anytime I get 3rd and 1, I know you don't want to run Cam, but that's what they should have done on the last 3rd and 1. Cam Newton is a weapon, 6'5" and 260. If he just leans forward, he'll get the first down. Nice call there. Do that more if you're Carolina.
McCaffrey was met in the backfield by Cameron Jordan, the wine giver, Cameron Jordan. He's the guy who sent Cam Newton the bottle of wine after they swept him last year. Jordan Cab, he gave him. The eponymous wine.
He just does a good job extending his arms, locking out the offensive tackle, and then shedding. And that's what defense ends have to do in the running game.
Double play action to a screen that had absolutely no chance. Anzalone disrupting everything.
Well, Anzalone says, you guys keep talking about Luke Kuechly, but guess what? I can read it too. They fake the zone, fake the reverse, and then here he is. And when they come back through, he's going to play it just off of that fake dive, then his film study, then the reverse. He sees it, and he racks before the offensive lineman can get up to him.
And now comes a down 3rd and long that Carolina is very uncomfortable in. Cam really doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver. Greg Olsen is hurt, so these downs are tough for the Carolina Panthers.
3rd and 13. As Jordan couldn't get him. And then he throws it short of McCaffrey.
Yeah, those 3rd downs are tough for everybody. You're not going to win many games. You're not going to convert when you have these 3rd downs and long. They have to be better early in the downs.
Cameron Jordan has 12 sacks this year. It's 1 shy of his career high that he set last season.
You know, Joe, that's what the Saints are doing better during this 5-game streak, is their ability to rush the passer with Jordan and Rankins.
Pilardi's punt drives Lewis all the way back inside the 10, and then he's able to return it past the 20. 7-6 game here. Panthers on top. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Hey, look at some of the smiles around Cam Newton in this shot here as he was playing the role of Santa, donating gifts that totaled more than $100,000 to local children. That kicked off Cam's Foundation's annual holiday giveaway.
He's got that Joe Test flash. The way he dresses.
That's booked tonight, Whit. Here's Ingram. Look at Ingram trying to keep his balance and take Davis for a ride. Goes for 7 yards there. You know the offense is weaponry for the Saints. And you sit there and you look at Breeze's numbers tonight. Kamara, but then Michael Thomas, who only has the 1 catch for 5 yards so far.
Well, this is a critical 6 minutes for the Panthers season. You know, you got to give this offense a reason to doubt the Saints. You know, momentum is real in the NFL, and there's Drew Brees out wide at wide receiver.
As they go with the inverted bone full house with Taysom Hill handing off to Alvin Kamara, who will go ahead for the first down. So Taysom Hill, who is the ultimate NFL Swiss Army knife. We've seen him at quarterback already a couple times tonight as Max Unger and friends are having a friendly conversation that has nothing to do with swapping Christmas cookie recipes. Joe, Hill trots out there, the 28-year-old in his second season out of BYU, who they have used every which way. Special teams, plays some quarterback, lines up at tight end. Breeze on first down as he goes to Ingram, and Ingram will go ahead and get 8.5 yards there.
You know, going back to that, though, this is a critical time in the game and really for the season for the Panthers. When you think about where they're at, I mean, they can't afford to lose. They have to win. But, you know, the Saints, they're going to get the ball here to start the second half. You've held them scoreless there from a touchdown standpoint, 2 field goals that you've given up. So you've got to give them a reason to doubt. And just like momentum is contagious and gives you confidence, the same goes when you have adversity. And you begin to doubt yourself a little bit, regardless of what your record and how good you've been in the past. The Panthers need a big stop on this drive.
Let's see if they can get it. Not going to happen with that effort as Ingram gets a push ahead, and that will move the chains. Well, Ron Rivera, the head coach, the flag is down at the end of this play. That is back at the 42-yard line. See what Tony Corrente cleans up here with his crew.
Getting chippy down here, Tess. A lot of extracurricular activity. But that tends to happen when you get division rivals, the NFC South. I played in this division. None of the teams like each other. That's just kind of how it goes. But it's going a little too far here tonight.
Well, especially these two, Bo.
Yeah,
obviously, what happened last year with the sweep.
After the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 75. 15-yard penalty, and it will be first down and 10 yards to gain.
That's Andrus Pete.
Yeah, he just pushes him at the very end. The play's over. We're going to call that every time.
No, he doesn't have good memories of playing the Panthers. Broke his leg, had the high ankle sprain in the wild card playoff game last year against the Panthers. Sean Payton clearly bothered by that. It is a first down. They just get marched back. Breeze going to check down underneath Josh Hill. As Hill goes for 10 yards.
Well, what happens there, we're talking about these linebackers having to get back on the play action. They got to carry the deep overs. And these guys are going to go, and he's going to run it out. But then the tight end, Hill's going to come. So when Kuechly drops back, he then just checks it down underneath. So he's looking for the deep vertical. Kuechly turns and runs with the outcut. And then boom, as soon as he turns, Drew just checks it down. That's the chess match. And they put him in a bind, Luke Kuechly, when they play like that.
But here's the mentality, Whit. As a defensive player, I'm trying to keep everything in front of me. Carolina's doing a good job of that tonight.
Yeah, but that was a first down.
Breeze with time downfield. And it's incomplete with no flag, as it was Kamara matched up with Munnerlyn.
Munnerlyn's a veteran player, so he understood that the ball goes up. He kind of got beat settling in the zone, and then he turns and runs. And good job. You always say that, Bug. I always, countering you on it. You got to turn and find the ball, but in this case, it worked out for the veteran.
Yeah, I just love what Carolina is doing tonight. They're limiting Michael Thomas. They're not giving New Orleans the big play. And when you have an explosive offense, make them drive the football 12 to 15 plays. Nice game plan by Ron Rivera so far.
Quickly to the line. Play clock down to 1 on 2nd and 10. That is batted and incomplete as Munnerlyn on the other side of the field this time.
Well, when they go empty, they check to cover 2, so they're playing a zone. And Munnerlyn's the veteran player. He's going to soft it, set in that zone, but he's got to go make that play. Those are difference-making plays. Good job breaking it up, but you got to find it, knowing that Drew's going to try to bait you. That's one he'd like to have back.
Yeah, and this defense is playing better. Ron Rivera's taking over the play calling. You fire the defensive line coach, you fire the secondary coach. This defense is playing inspired football tonight.
That happened before last week's loss at Cleveland. Rivera calls the defensive plays for his team. 3rd down and 10. Incomplete. Looking for Thomas as Reed was in defensively.
They walk everybody up to pretend like they're blitzing, and then they fall underneath. Eric Reed, good job on the double team, falling underneath it, and then driving on the ball. It's what you have to do, knowing that Michael Thomas is his #1 target. Good job by Ron Rivera to say, hey, we're going to double him on critical downs.
Whit, I wonder why more teams don't do this in New Orleans. When Michael Thomas is clearly your #1 guy, just high-low him all day.
Good directional work that time by Thomas Morstead. Panthers still up 7-6. Boog, you mentioned you're right on top of it down there. It has been chippy at the end of some of these plays. Cam with a 1-point lead when we return. .314 until halftime here. Joe, Jason, Booger, and Lisa with you. Monday Night Football, Saints and the Panthers. Saints trying to secure that #1 seed in the NFC. And the Panthers hoping for the best down the stretch here. They got to win, and they need a little bit of help. Put an end to this 5-game losing streak. Newton trying to extend the play. Flag is down as he is taken down by Onyemata.
Holding, offense number 71. This penalty's been declined. The result of the play creates 2nd down.
3rd sack for the Saints. Hey, the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, of course, recognizing NFL players who not only exhibit excellence on the field, but the passion and impacting lives, and it extends beyond the game. It's led them to leave a positive legacy in their communities. Like the nominees we have here, the Saints, Mark Ingram, Panthers, Julius Peppers. The winner announced at the NFL Honors the night before the Super Bowl. McCaffrey can't find much that time. And the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, hey, listen, we got the MVP and we've got the Lombardi and everything, but in the league, that is the most prestigious and the most honored, and we're so glad to have a former winner with us. But that fraternity is so special.
It's a rare fraternity. When you're around that award, that family, I think it's incredible what the league is doing with it. I'm more proud to be associated with the Walter Payton Man of the Year than any other accomplishment I had on the playing field. So I think it's incredible. We recognize what these players are doing on and off the field. Kudos to the league office for recognizing that. And I can tell you, from being a past recipient, it's an incredible experience.
I laugh because I've been to your house. You've actually brought that beautiful Walter Payton Man of the Year Award trophy down from the shelf. And man, the commissioner hands that thing to you. You don't realize how heavy it is.
Yeah, you spend all weekend with him, and Roger Goodell doesn't tell you the thing weighs 92 pounds. Right. He hands it to you on stage in front of America. But that just, it embodies so much, and what Walter stood for, and what all the past recipients, when they bring those group together. I'm so humbled and honored to be a part of it. Some great representatives here tonight.
Well, Ingram and Peppers, outstanding jobs with what they've done. 3rd and 20, and Cam is going to escape, tuck, and try to run as another flag is down here at the end of this play. That's back at the 5-yard line.
Holding, offense, number 72. This penalty has been declined. The result of the play creates 4th down.
You know, that's the thing that Carolina didn't want to do. You give the ball back to New Orleans. New Orleans is going to get the football to start the second half. They got time for that rare double dip where they can score at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. That's how they jump up on teams.
Yeah, and you want to get this crowd involved. You want to show that there's hope. You want the New Orleans Saints to doubt a little bit.
Yeah.
Get a drive there. Don't give them the ball back with over 2 minutes to go. And Drew Brees on the other side.
Well, it takes a bounce in the other direction, just short of the 50-yard line. So they'll have good field position after just a 33-yard punt from Pilardi. Hey, let's talk NFL MVP. Some of the candidates there, you know what Aaron Donald's doing, leading the NFL in sacks and tackles for loss. Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. What a superb year for those guys. Then the wow factor of Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees. He's been a runner-up in the past, leads the NFL in completion percentage, has this team aiming towards a #1 seed. What do you see?
Well, I think it's the two guys on the right there, Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees. I mean, Drew Brees, I believe, is playing his best football. What he's done with this offense, he's got the touchdowns and all that, but he's limited the interceptions.
As he goes underneath to Kamara. Who's the MVP at this point, Boog?
For me, it's going to be Drew Brees. I think there's going to be a little bit of sympathy vote for a guy who's the all-time passing leader that's never won.
Don't forget about Patrick Mahomes.
Brees has the ball when we return. On Boog.
Seriously, I haven't. I'm being honest.
No, we did have a Nelly sighting down there at field level, Boog.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here.
Brees had the touch on it, but it was broken up by Davis, and then into the hands there of Bradbury. Weaving his way and finally taken down.
That's the power of the zone coverage. Thomas Davis dropping back. You've been talking about it all night. The linebackers dropping back.
He's actually playing man-to-man there, but he chases it on the pick route. The veteran player gets beat, but then, as you said, to get his hands up at the critical time, that's what you want from your veteran linebacker. And man-to-man coverage, understanding it, goes off his helmet and rally to the ball. That's the break they needed. Now Cam Newton. Take advantage of it. Capitalize. This is when you need good Cam.
So James Bradbury aware enough to haul it in, return it 30 yards off the helmet of Davis. And 3 timeouts remain for the Panthers with prime field position. 1:46 before the half, and the lead over the 11-win Saints. As he finds McCaffrey, who's been such a weapon out of the backfield this year.
But that's what you want from him. Get the ball out quick, see that you got 2 slant routes, and drill it in there. And get yourself in good down and distance. And I'm not just saying with those timeouts in your back pocket, you need 7 here, knowing that Drew Brees gets it here at the second half.
Here's McCaffrey on the ground now, and that'll be a first down.
And because they don't take a lot of shots, I'm looking for them to get some crossing routes. They do have speed. And that's what DJ Moore brings. That's what Samuels brings. They have speed underneath. So if New Orleans is going to play zone on 1st and 2nd down, don't wait till 3rd down. Get those crossing routes going and allow those guys to do it with their legs.
They bring speed at receiver. They don't bring size at receiver. As Moore is lined up in the backfield behind Cam Newton. As they run option, then a reverse, and here's Samuel. Let's see some of that speed. As he is taken down, that was well played by P.J. Williams. As Samuel goes for 5 yards there. And a timeout will be used. That is their first, the Panthers.
Well, they faked like they're going to run the pitch because they did that last week. They ran a little read option. He pitched it out to Moore. And then they come back with the reverse. And that's what Norv Turner's doing. Knowing that they don't have this explosive, big physical receivers on the outside. They do have Funches, but he hasn't been used a lot there. Samuel could have got out of bounds. They did have 3 of them, so you use it, regroup, and this is when Cam extend these plays and allow these guys to do it with the run after catch.
And properly manage these last 40 seconds with 2 timeouts, a 2nd and 4. Ball on the 25-yard line. Remember, they had the trick play with McCaffrey to Manhurts. The rest of the offense has kind of been on low simmer until this opportunity. 2nd and 4.
He's got Funchess one-on-one.
Cam trying to keep his balance and putting that big body at nearly 250 pounds, pinballing around and going ahead for a first down. And the clock is counting down. Remember, they have 2 timeouts remaining.
You got to bang it. What are you waiting on, Ron?
Wasted a little bit of time there. There's the encouragement from Ron Rivera. Watch this play by Newton.
Well, it's a called draw. And McCaffrey tried to go with the cut. He kind of missed on it, but Cam, resilient. That's what he does. I mean, he can make plays like that. He's athletic. One of the best things he does is run after catch. New Orleans is trying to wrap up. They're not doing a very good job. He gets the first down. Ron Rivera should have banged that timeout a little bit sooner. And now the opportunity. Still with 1 timeout, you can complete that ball inside because you have that one in your back pocket.
And I like what Dennis Allen did. You bring the safety bell, trying to create some pressure against that call draw, being aggressive toward Cam Newton. Even though he's a scrambling quarterback, you still have to be aggressive toward him.
And Cam needs more awareness there. He's signaling first down. You know, the clock's running.
Yeah, they've lost about 12 seconds with that. Here is Christian McCaffrey, who does get out of bounds that time. So 18 ticks of the clock remain after those 7 yards.
Game management is so critical with the time because, you know, Christian understands that, all right, he's going to be the check down, getting out of bounds. Cam is the quarterback. You can't just rely on the coach to do that. You got to get rallied back up. You got a first down, they potentially clock it or be on the ball. Can't waste that time.
Funchess is all the way to the top of your screen. He is the lone big target in that receiving corps. Thomas to the bottom, the rookie tight end. He's going to look to the top.
Oh,
and
no.
that ball is picked off. Eli Apple with the INT. Wasted opportunity for Carolina.
He's got one-on-one man-to-man. That's why he goes out there. He's going to use his size. He is the one guy that brings in there with some size. The one thing in the red zone, you cannot leave those throws short. Can't do it. Decent release. It's got to be high, firm ball on the outside. It's either Funchess's or it's out of bounds. You leave it short, you allow the corner to come back and play. Terrible mistake at crunch time by Cam Newton.
And what did Sean Payton tell us? He said, you know what? I like this Eli Apple, especially when he gets up in place. Press coverage and is physical. Eli Apple was that just now.
Eli Apple with the Saints' 5th red zone takeaway this season. And it comes just at the right time. Panthers with a 1-point margin, and the Saints are going to get the ball to start the second half, as we will join Susie Colbert for the Genesis halftime show starting right now.
Watch the chess match. Drew Brees, Luke Kuechly.
I got a great feel for these guys.
Riverboat Ron, we're seeing it early.
4th and 2, McCaffrey's going to pass, and wide open, roll the dice and cash in, Panthers.
And he sees Eric Reed and says, you better get lower there, buddy. You want to make that play.
Into the hands there of Bradbury. Wasted opportunity for Carolina. Yeah, you saw a lone touchdown there. The trick play, McCaffrey to Chris Manhurts, and the Panthers not giving up hope on a wild card, even though some stuff has to happen down the stretch here. That takes a lot of math. Brees and Cam, they broke through those interceptions in the final moments of the first half. Cam's obviously costly there. The red zone turnover took away a clear scoring chance, and he has been sacked 3 times as well. As we welcome you back here to Charlotte, Joe Tessitore and Jason Witten. We'll hear from Booger in just a moment. What do you make of the quarterbacks?
Well, I mean, the Carolina Panthers defense is playing